All right, welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. 4 reviews up this week, the first of which is Below the Crown. Right, explore the dungeons below the crown in this love letter to roguelike, dungeon crawlers, and chess. Prepare for strategy, game-changing spells, psychological tests, and challenges from your fellow player. From the award-winning creators of Duskers and A Virus Named Tom. Not sure how important the pedigree is, in terms of their previous titles, because, Below the Crown is very, very different than those other titles.
I gotta say, a roguelite dungeon crawler is basically the opposite of chess in almost every possible way.
Well, that's the key here. This isn't a chess game. It's a chess adjacent. It's a chess inspired game. As in, your the pieces, they move like chess pieces. For example, the wizard, as it's called in game, that's your king, and it behaves like a king does in chess, i.e., it moves in any direction, one space. The key here is you can't put your king wizard into check. That is actually going to come up a lot because you're not playing a full chessboard here. Indeed, on the field, at least on your side, you will just have the wizard, and every turn, you will get the opportunity to summon a chess piece. And the starting pieces are the rook and the bishop, and they move like the rook and the bishop do in chess. And I suspect they chose that particular combination because the rook-bishop duo, that tends to be the wrecking crew in actual chess matches. I've never been able to use that fully effectively. But we're not talking about actual chess here. And that is important because not all of the pieces you will encounter here are actual chess pieces. They've got their own, not interpretations, but just flat out new pieces that are based off of new rules. A good example of this is the prince. There is no prince piece in chess, and the prince does not move like a tradition, like any one of the correlating chess pieces. The prince moves like a king. It's not encumbered by the move that a king cannot do. And it makes sense. It's less powerful than a queen.
Wait, what?
But also not the goal of the game. So,
So it moves one square at a time in any direction, but you can put it in check voluntarily?
Yes. Because you can't check a print. That's not the goal. Your goal is to either institute a checkmate on the opposing force, or get rid of all of the other get rid of all the henchmen. That is an effective checkmate there as well. And that's that's about the basics for the tactical portion of the game. The strategic portion, not surprisingly, that's the roguelike stuff. That's the unlock spells, unlock cards, unlock. That's all your unlock stuff. Because surprise, surprise, this game will get hard very quickly. And going back to your base figure, it's not the king; it's the wizard. Behaves like a king in terms of its movement, but can also cast spells. Like, technically speaking, with the other pieces, they're summon spells. But you can also use like lightning stuff. Right. And you're like, I'm trying obviously your goal is to get through the dungeon. It's just you're not doing that in your first go around. And the other rogue like elements here are the unlocking of the castle ground. Like, admittedly, I didn't get enough gold to actually unlock that, so I'm not exactly sure what because it's like a couple hundred gold for each area. But that is part of the rogue light experience, technically. At least I'm assuming that's what they're going for here. I think the weakest description here is actually the dungeon crawling, because you're not doing actual dungeon crawling. Like, dungeon crawlers are a very specific thing, and it's not this. This is a tactical strategy game.
Only your
Like, a
pieces
dungeon
have
crawler,
to move on chess rules and not just.
I mean, rogue-style dungeon crawlers are in fact turn-based strategy games, effectively, except that you only control one dude.
right? But the strategy is going through the dungeon, and it's also it's a very specific thing that's been codified since the 80s. It's wizardry, it's dungeon master. First person view. Maybe you have a party. Usually, you have a party. Like, it can be one person, but often it's a party with wizardry. It's multiple parties, because those games are really hard and will end you without a thought. But the crawling of the dungeon is very literal. Your job is to get through said dungeon without dying. Like, this is something newer, much more modern, and I think that that extends to like the graphical style, because it's sort of trying to do the emulation of like old school wizardry monochromatic graphics. Like, you're viewing this on an old CRT that was monochrome, but it's a bit too neon for that. Like, and I think everything comes together rather well. It's just, if you're coming here for chess or dungeon crawling, like pure those things, even roguelikes, like I find the roguelike elements to be secondary to the tactical chess stuff that it's doing. Like, it's commendable that this thing is doing something new, but if you're looking for something pure, this is not it. And quite frankly, that's fine, because, well, when it comes to chess, it's not hard to find a chess game on a platform.
Mhm.
Like, and as far as dungeon crawlers go, once again, there's plenty of tributes to those, up to and including an actual Wizardry 1 remake that was put out not too long ago. We reviewed it. So I think this is actually a better course of action than just, emulating being another tribute to genres and games of long ago. Because those are all fine and dandy, but we also do need new things as well. And I think this fits the bill quite nicely. Wasn't my cup of tea, but it may be yours. As a game, it is very solid stuff. And yeah, I think that's about it on my end. Petty, Gullix, anything you all wish to add?
Not that I can think of. It's chess. Like I never even learned how to play chess. Like
Yeah. Gullix?
What?
Never mind.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
I might have mixed up when I was muted. Anyway, I don't really have any further questions.
Okay.
I was gonna make the horsey moves such and such a way joke, but I couldn't come up with a succinct way to put it.
Horsey to King Prawn 3.
sure.
You guys need to watch more Red Dwarf.
We'll work on
Anyway,
it.
noted. So this game is clocking in at $15. I think if you're sold on the premise here, that's a well enough price. It's just, once again, if you're looking for the actual, if you're looking for actual chess, then this would be way too much money. Even if even if we were like a chess adjacent puzzle game, we've reviewed quite a few of those a while ago, but we've done that, like Night Swap,
Mm.
um,
And if you
and
just
so on
want to
and so
play
forth.
chess, chess has literally been included and
Yeah,
literally free with your operating system
yeah,
since
or
Vista
your
era.
or your mobile device.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a chess game on my phone for ages.
Mhm.
You know, like, you really shouldn't be paying money for chess. Or if you are, you're paying like $3 to get rid of the ads, something like that. $15 for a
Mhm.
digital chess game. Like, unless it's a real chess simulator,
And like gives you access
and
to like one of the supercomputers that does chess to practice against. That would
something
probably
along
be
those lines.
that'd be the only
But
reason
like,
why you'd be paying actual money for some type of chess
right,
thing.
right, because these are actual things that are measured in a thing called ELO, if I'm remembering correctly. That's like how good a simulation the chess thing is. It's been a long time since I looked at this stuff, but
Mhm.
um like like the Chess Master series used to have, when that was a thing, used to be measured with that as like a providing you a real tournament level challenge
Mhm.
kind of deal. um but and if this were a dungeon crawler, $15 would probably be on the steel side. I think
Mhm.
$15 for what this thing actually is perfectly fine. Um, really, that's the overarching words I can think of to describe this game. Perfectly fine. Right then. So I think that'll about do it for Below the Crown here. With that in mind, be sure to tune in after the break, as Petty Fan will be reviewing The End of the Sun.